All right, guys. So you know what it is. I've been um, seeing this about the rental, and about a year and a half ago, whatnot. And I had made videos prior to this about her. And anybody that's a teenager to their 20s that should have, maybe they're starting off, but they really think it's just a fast game where you think, because a lot of young people, that's what they do. They think, oh, it's just, get into the market, and then I'm gonna make all this money back, and man, I'm gonna have like 10 rentals or 100 rentals, and I'm gonna make it me making all this income. And but then they forget about all the expense, the property tax they still have to pay, the income tax they still have to pay, the property manager, some of the employees, the maintenance is 30%, even up to half of the income per year annually. So I'll give you an example real quick.
I honestly think you could do better if you were doing a short-term rental.
Let me just let her speak for a second.
Rent this. We spend a lot on renovations. You don't have to spend that much.
So as you heard there, she said, this is what I told her a year and a half ago. That's why I made this video. So just go to my channel. I go down most of these videos about her. Here's the one right here. It's called Learning
yesterday, and so we're gonna
Shelby Church Learning Rental quickly. That's the stuff, and this was back in June 8th, 2021. And this is what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. And we'll go back, let's switch back to her page real quick. So in this video, which was May 28th, 2022, which is almost just a few weeks before 1 year that I made that prior video, and when she was starting all this stuff, and now she finally admits it that you shouldn't spend that much money on stuff, like you shouldn't on renovating, and like especially the backyard and the appliances and the furniture that you get. It's just overwhelming. The air conditioner unit, when you spend $2,000 on a mattress for a rental, do you really go to a hotel, a motel, go to another Airbnb and ask them, how much did you spend? Did you spend $2,000 on a mattress? That is ridiculous. I don't know what would and then of course in this video you'll also see the TV. She spent $2,000 on a TV, and that's like, oh my gosh, like you just don't, like some of the appliances in there, her microwaves, her refrigerator, she gets like the best. And the furniture, some of the light fixtures, it's like, man, she's making this like she's gonna be living in it. You know what I mean? For a rental property, you do not do that. You don't do that ever, because they don't care. Like those people, they're in and out. They're just there to have a party. It's not theirs, so they're not gonna take care of it because they don't care. They're just in there for a quick whatever. And a lot of times it's the people, it's not even in their name. They have, what happens, it's one time, it'll be like 8 people, a group of 12 or 8. They'll go in there. It'll be under one person's name, usually a one guy's name. And then, they'll bring their boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever. And then it'll be that one guy, and he'll end up, clogging the commode, breaking the TV, breaking some of the remotes, or on the pool, just breaking a light out. Like they do that, and it's because they're rough. They don't care. So when you're putting, let's go back to my channel. So when they were putting all this, $76,000 in a lot. Yeah, I watched that video when you spent $76,000 on the backyard. That was like, whoa. Like, I don't even know, is that your first rental or what? Because I was like, you're never gonna make your money back. I mean, that's more of a remodel. That's just like to sell in the future, or maybe keep for yourself. And that's what I encourage you guys. So from a year ago to her new video now, she's repeating the exact same thing that I've been telling you guys, that I've been saying for the last, well, I've known this for oh man, a lifetime ago. And like I've been saying, I told her, and I made this video to tell her last year, hey, you're spending way too much, especially the backyard and all the appliances. A year ago, I told her this. Now she made a video realizing that, and why people make that same mistake, even though you tell them. You go through the same things, you tell them, and still around the same age, and yet they still make the same mistake. Now, what good would it be for me, a business owner, to say something like that when it's not just you. There have been many, many, many people that I have taken under my wing, that I have told, no, don't do this, don't do that. And they don't understand that right then, because they expect all this income and they expect all this, because they hear all these this, oh, well, on this website, it said they're going to make this amount of money or that, but they're not counting. Yes, there's a difference between the income you make and all the other stuff. So yeah, the rent they're collecting is great. That's true. But you're never going to keep maybe 20% of it at times, even 11% at times. Sometimes you barely even make it even, because you barely break even. And the reason that is because they don't include all the extra stuff. And for example, I'll tell you something. When you're buying a car, if you buy a used car from a rental company, you don't know this, but the reason why none of them have wrecked on it, because they don't have to report it, because they have their own insurance on it. So they don't need to report it. So if they wreck their vehicle, that's a rental car, and they're selling it and you buy it, it could have been in a wreck. But since they have their own insurance, they don't need to report that it's been in a wreck, because they fix it. And that's the same issue here, is that they don't tell you about maintenance. They don't tell you that, oh, hey, my refrigerator went out, my hot water heater went out, my electrical went out, my gas lines, my appliances, for example, washer and dryers, refrigerators, TVs, swimming pool, gas lines, pipelines, water lines, all this stuff, they freeze, they break, they water hose, like just every little thing. It does happen, and it happens a lot. You're going to find out in the next 13 years, or the 12.8 years you project, it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more than that expense, because you're going to have to remember that, you got to change the beds. Your bed's not going to last that long with people, the mattresses, like you're going to have to get a new mattress, and you remember all this 60, 70,000 that you spent, you have to replace that with another 60 or 70,000 to replace the items, and because I've done that before, that you think like, oh, well, we can maybe buy this part and fix it. And it does lower the cost a little bit, but in the longer outcome, it won't, because it's something else will break more often, and you'll have to keep sending people out to fix it. So at some point, like I showed you on my other video, and I took you out there to the hot water heater, at some point after 15 years, it doesn't work, and there's nothing you can do, because it rusts inside. There's too sediment built up in it, or it's just some kind of something that's clogged up. Sometimes it just does not work, and you have to replace it. And replacing an air conditioner can cost you, $20,000 for a home like yours. So you got to remember all this stuff. It doesn't last forever. 10, 20 years. That 12.8 years, it all adds up. So you got to be thinking about ahead of time too. I got to save that money now for the future expense that's going to happen. The refrigerator's going to go out. The hot water heater's going to go. The air conditioner needs to be replaced. All this stuff is going to happen. So even when that day comes, when you got it paid off, you got to remember all the new stuff that you spent, 60, 70,000, that you got to put back in, because it's going to break. Chairs break, TVs break, appliances get old, they wear and tear, hinges from the cabinets, your banisters, stuff, people sit on it when they take pictures, it breaks, countertops, everything does happen, especially in a rent. You're going to find out. And I made this video again. Please send the word out.